just like that, it's time for our weekly roundup of all the things Lady just ain't gonna do this week. Number 1, Club Q hate crime kills 5 and injures 18. So a 22-year-old gunman dressed in body armor walked into Club Q, a gay bar in Colorado Springs, Colorado. He was armed with a handgun and an AR rifle and several rounds of ammunition. And the gunman opened fire inside the club, killing 5 people and injuring 18. The stories are heartbreaking. I'm so tired of talking about mass shootings. So tired. But bigger than that, I'm tired and outraged that we are still at the stage of arguing that our lives matter. I'm honestly tired of politics that cater to the lowest fucking denominator. There's something going around these interwebs that the person who committed this atrocity is the grandson of a MAGA Republican legislator in the California state legislature. I mean, look, this violence is a direct result, not just of hatred and ignorance, but the weaponization of hate for political gain. This is what this emboldens. And as a queer person, I feel a responsibility to keep talking about this shit, but to be honest with y'all, I'm fucking tired of it. But I do want to say that it was us who kept us safe. It was us who stood up to protect us when the country would not. It has always been us. And after a full week that went away of nonstop news coverage about this awful tragedy, Lady cannot help but point out that while it's important that this was being covered at the scale that it was, every night when I turn on my television, I see heterosexual people talking at me about how awful this is. Now, the only openly queer people that were reporting the news on these mainstream channels are like Don Lemon and Jonathan Capehart. And yes, there is that painful, awkward shit where now suddenly you're supposed to be the voice for all queer people. I mean, come on. These are actually the moments when and why representation matters. I want to hear from queer people right now about what the impact of this has been and what needs to be done about it. I want to hear from queer people of color living in Colorado who are fighting to live as queer and of color all at the same time. I want the straights to interview the people who perpetuate this bullshit and go unchecked. Interview Lauren Boebert, the MAGA congresswoman from Colorado, and ask her ass about her record. Interview the grandfather of this man, you know, the one who is also a member of the California state legislature and is a MAGA Republican. Interview his ass about his grandson who killed 5 people and injured 18 and re-traumatized queer people across the country. Expose these people for who the fuck they are. Murderers. Speaking of which, yet another mass shooting last week as a gunman opened fire in a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia, killing 7 people, including himself, and injuring at least 6. The gunman was an overnight shift manager and shot up an employee break room before turning the gun on himself. Now, according to news reports, the shooter bought the gun legally just a few hours before the shooting. This shooting comes just a little more than a week after yet another shooting in Virginia, where a gunman opened fire on a University of Virginia campus, killing 3 football players and injuring 2. Now, ask me what the gun laws are in Virginia, and I'll tell you that basically you don't need a state permit or to register a firearm in Virginia unless it's an automatic weapon. Now, Virginia is an open carry state. You need a permit for concealed carry, but only kind of sorta. Now, might there be a correlation between lax gun laws and gun violence? Just maybe. I'm still waiting on the day some of these lawmakers have the courage to stand up to the gun lobby, but child, I am not holding my breath on that one. Other things that Lady just ain't gonna do this week is that Republicans take control of the House of Representatives. Now, the midterm coverage continues here, but only for a short minute because we actually need to start really looking at what the fuck we finna do about these presidential elections and what moves we need to make next year to build momentum to keep these people from taking more power. In any case, while Democrats won control of the Senate, Republicans took control of the House of Representatives and already started the nonsense of what they ain't gonna do. Oh, you know, like they ain't gonna have Representative Ilhan Omar on the Foreign Affairs Committee, ostensibly because she works hard on that committee to make sure, I don't know, that we don't make even more of a catastrophe of the globe than we already have. And, you know, fighting back against dictatorships and apartheid and whatnot, no big deal. They just don't want her on that committee. They also said they ain't gonna keep Adam Schiff or Eric Swalwell on the House Intelligence Committee because, why would we want to do things like find out why Donald Trump was stealing classified documents and hiding them at his fucking resort? Get rid of all these fucking people, okay? Now, what is the agenda of the Republicans, you ask? Well, child, not much. First, they said they're going to reinstate Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene to the committee she was stripped from because, she was promoting violent rhetoric. And so Speaker McCarthy is not only going to reinstate her, he says he's also going to give her even better committees. And let's not forget about Representative Paul Gosar from Arizona, who was also stripped of his committees after he posted a weird-ass anime video that was edited to show him killing Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. But wait, we were talking about their agenda, right? So let me not get distracted by these small things. So the policy agenda of the Republicans is securing the border, reducing government spending, and launching investigations into the Biden-Harris administration. Interesting, because literally none of these issues are key priorities for most fucking people. But these people continue to hijack the country with no solutions to the problems that millions of people are grappling with every single day. Oh, the big things like lack of access to affordable health care, lack of access to affordable housing, unregulated and unsafe workplaces, even fucking public safety. Now, the irony of all of it is that many of the challenges have been exacerbated by their poor policy positions. But now that Republicans control the House and plan to use their time to investigate the Biden-Harris administration, good luck seeing any policy coming from them on, inflation, gas prices, home prices, or any other fucking prices for that matter. These people are fucking lunatics. Anyways, here's what we want more of this week, though. There's just one thing on the list, and that is that Karen Bass wins her mayoral race in Los Angeles, California, making her the first Black woman to run the city. Okay, so there was good news this week. Despite all of the bullshit, former Congresswoman Karen Bass became the first Black woman to lead the City of Angels. And she is now one of 5 Black mayors, leading half of the 10 largest cities in the United States. Now, admittedly, it wasn't looking good in June when she eked by in the primary. And up until the last minute in this race, it was looking kind of tough too. Yes, Mayor-elect Bass was being outspent by billionaire Republican Rick Caruso, and then a bunch of prominent celebrities like Snoop and Kim Kardashian went and backed the rich man. Now, we tried to get the mayor-elect to come on this show and talk to the people about her plans for Los Angeles, but she declined. We hear on the advice of her campaign advisors. But nonetheless, there's hardly any doubt that it's a good thing that she is now at the helm, and we wish her the best.